Welcome, episode 65 of the Gridiron Garage. It's our anniversary week. Stay tuned to the next episode. It'll be our 1-year anniversary, right? We're getting pumped. We're saved this bottle of champagne just for that episode, right?
Yeah.
But welcome to episode 65 of the Gridiron Garage. I'm your host, SlimDaddyGriff. SlimDaddyGriff, getting there, I should say. Still fat, though. But to my left, holding up a Phillies shirt for some odd reason, because he's a fake Reds fan, we got Zach Curtis.
It's the best
Iron Man extraordinaire, Zach Curtis.
The best looking dude in MLB plays on the Phillies, dog.
Pause. Anyway.
No, I don't know if I'm allowed to say.
Whoa! Okay.
All right, and then all the way to my far left, we got the man who rides choppas for a living. It's that Jake Lawhorn, wearing the Harley shirt like normal.
What's up? I always repping Harley.
I know.
That's because we don't have any wall Harley art. So
that's all you, dude. That's all you. Get some Harley stuff.
We can take this down and put a Harley flag up.
Harley stuff.
I don't care.
I saw some this weekend and I was like, oh, it was like $79.
Ooh.
I was like, that'd be cool for the pot.
Like a screen printed one. They're like
just bring your motorcycle in here and just park it behind us.
I would.
Yeah.
Don't put it past me.
I bet you would.
I'll pull that shit back around.
How would we get it
right
down
through
here?
The back door.
How would we get it in here? I guess it would fit in here.
Right through the back
It
door.
would fit in here. It's slim enough.
It would be a mother trucker.
We're
It'd be
going
a
to get
mother
a table out.
I want to sit on it while I record every time. That would be sick, dude.
I'm down. However you want to do it, man.
You guys get a chair and I'll just sit in the Harley the whole time.
You get carbon monoxide poisoning. You're not going to be able to stop yourself from revving it.
I was thinking, so I'm Zach Kellerman, okay?
Yeah.
And you're Griffin A. Smith,
Okay.
okay? So that means that Jake's Molly.
Jake's Molly Curum. Oh my God, Molly sucks.
Oh.
She always cuts them off. She's the mediator, and they'll be in the middle of an argument, and she'll just like cut them off, like all the time.
All right, boys, we got to get to break.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, they're like it's like me and Zach just arguing nonstop, and Jake's like, "Come on, dude."
No,
Yeah.
I don't do that.
Yeah, I guess you don't.
I'd let y'all fight it out.
He muted us earlier.
Did he?
Yeah. He was like,
Dude, we weren't even arguing really that much. That was like a tame argument compared to what we're used to.
You?
we were just talking.
Yeah, we were just talking.
You said that you muted our group message.
Oh no, you guys were your group message was going, and it was I think 7:30 in the morning, and I was still like sleeping. Like my alarm didn't go off till 8:15.
Well, no, I texted him once and just said, "Hey,
fuck you too."
I just texted him, say, "Hey, I'm finishing some stuff for the podcast today. I got part of it done." We didn't actually start
to sleep.
No.
And
We didn't actually start messaging each other with like that small little like talking we had. You don't have to look her up. It's
just
fine.
say first take, Molly. First take.
But anyway, welcome to episode 65 of the Gridiron Garage. We got some good sports topics today. Kind of a slower day for some of the sports, but we're going to go through. Yeah, I'm sure you will.
That's cool with me.
But we got a lot of topics here. I got to start it out. I got a Do Stats Matter for one Zachary Curtis.
Let's hear it.
You ready? All right, so I got a couple for you, actually. One of them, I want to get your take. The other one, I'm curious what you're going to think when I say this. So first one, I think is just kind of cool. 20,000th MLB player. Did you guys see that? The 20,000th unique MLB player got called up. It was so a different player. So like not like
oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying? There's been 20,000 different players that have played at least one game in the Major League Baseball.
Okay.
So his name was Jose Godoy, and 20,000 MLB players to think about since 1850. Right? I feel like that's not as much as I thought it would be.
Yeah, that seems small.
So
especially since like MLB specifically will bring players up for like 3 weeks and send them back down, you know? Like, I think that number would be bigger.
You're going to tell me because I'm not a math guy, Jake, and you're a math guy. So if I do this math, right, 20,000 divided by 150 years, is that an average of how many new players every year?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I did it earlier. So 20,000 divided by 150, that's like, what, 133 unique new players get called up every single year
That's
in
a
baseball.
lot, actually.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about it.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying.
133.
That's why
32 teams?
I did this.
New players. So your
So
old
that's
players don't
roughly,
count.
there's 4 new players per team. And obviously it's more or less depending on the team. That's just an average. But
It means over
every team
4
calls
players.
up 4 unique players every year. But if you think about a 40-man roster, that makes sense.
That's not like the Reds pulling up Phillip Ervin, right? Because that's not a unique player.
Yeah,
Like,
it's some guy who's never played in the
They'd have to
majors
pull up
before.
someone that's never came back
So,
up.
so thinking about 40-man rosters, I can see it. You know what I mean?
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
Now
So you bring
said
up like
that.
3 or 4 people out of the
It does
40-man
sound
roster.
like a small number, but now that you explained it
But I
that way,
think
it
these are
makes sense.
players that have played in games. So you can bring someone up on a 40-man roster, they might not even see the field at some point. You know what I mean?
So, yeah, I'm going to say stats do not matter on that one.
Okay.
Because
I just think it's a cool stat. 20,000.
It is interesting, but
It'd be cool to be that one guy. If you're not that one guy, the stats doesn't matter at all.
I know.
because like
You're right.
if you don't touch the field, then you don't.
Do you know who the one
contribute
guy
to
is?
anything.
He did touch the field, though. He started.
Do you know who the one guy
This is
is?
the only people that have touched the field. Huh?
Do you know who the 20,000th guy is?
Jose Godoy. He plays for the Mariners.
Okay.
Yeah. He batted cleanup
That's
for him.
his first problem.
Clean up.
Yeah. First game batted cleanup.
Damn.
For the Marlins?
No, Mariners.
Mariners. Okay,
Yeah.
They're not having a great year.
They're
Right?
also very hurt.
Yeah.
So, anyway,
They've
so
been
here's
no hit twice, right?
yeah, I think so. So here's my other one, right? So in the year 2014 in the NFL, there was only one quarterback who had a 0.0 quarterback rating in a game. And there was only one quarterback who had a perfect 158.3 quarterback rating in a game. They were both Geno Smith.
Really?
So Zach, do stats matter?
How many games did he start?
He started the whole season.
The whole season?
He had one game where he had a complete 0 through a dud. That was against Buffalo, lost 43 to 23.
Oh my
And then
God.
he had a game where he had 158.3 passer rating against Miami at 137-24. So perfect passer rating and the absolute worst passer rating you can have in the same season.
Isn't that crazy?
I mean, yeah, because those defenses were both decent.
I don't know. It was 2014. So.
Oh, no. Okay. I thought it was 2020. Okay.
No, this is 2014. This is
Okay.
2014 season. I don't remember what the defenses were like then. So no clue. 2014, Ryan Fitzpatrick might have been on Buffalo then.
I mean,
can't remember.
I could
Can't
see
confirm.
those stats could matter because if both of those defenses were really good and you just threw an egg and then was like, "How I'm gonna ball out the next day," like that's pretty good.
Dude, that's insane to me though.
It doesn't really make sense how you could be so bad to get a 0-0. And it's not like he wasn't making passes because
So-
they were down 3 touchdowns.
My thoughts are that Miami was bad for a long time before they started
Yeah.
getting good. So my thoughts, this is when they were really bad, right? The Jets weren't good by chance. He played for the Jets, by the way. So the Jets were definitely not good. But it makes you think that Miami was just that much worse, and he was just able to ball out on them, right? I think it's more because looking on Geno Smith's career,
But
not
perfect
very good.
is different than balling out.
Yeah, you're
That's
right.
perfect.
Well, I'd say you balled out if you went perfect. You know what I mean? But because you can have a perfect quarterback rating and still throw incompletions because it's weighted on a certain amount of like how your passes were, like you know how far deep bombs you threw, how many touchdowns, like what your completion percentage was.
It's very hard to
Yeah,
do
you can
with
throw
incompletions,
You can
though.
still throw 80%, right, and get a perfect passer rating in some cases. So
That'd be tough.
you can. I'm telling you, like there's like 21.
Like 90%, like 95%.
You can go like 21 to like 28 and still get a perfect passer rating in some cases if you have a ton of yards and a ton of touchdowns because it's weighted and based more on touchdowns and things like that. QBR is different. QBR, it's really hard to have a really good QBR with like more incompletions. Passer rating is easier to get a perfect passer rating than to get like a QBR over 100
This
something.
one, it's like 156.
That's passer rating. That's the easier one to get. There's maybe that's QBR. Hang on, stats.
Passer rating,
Do
I
stats matter? Yeah, that's passer rating. Passer rating is easier to get perfect than QBR. That makes sense.
Well,
Either way, he's been a bum player, so it makes me think that the Bills actually had a decent team, and he played a decent team and played terrible, versus that Miami probably had a really bad team and he just balled out on them. So anyway, I just thought it was an interesting stat. So
that's pretty interesting. Barry Bonds has some pretty interesting stats, and he was not a bum player.
no, he was not
a bomb player.
He was a bomb. He hit bombs.
Not a bum.
Yeah. Barry Bonds had like the most insane year ever, where he like got walked X amount of times and it was like a walk home run, like X amount of at bats or something crazy.
Wasn't it? He was either going to walk or hit a home run.
It was insane. It was like
Isn't that what it came
40
down
something
to?
percent of his at bats were a walk or a home run or something crazy. That one year he hit like 70 whatever bombs.
Yeah.
70, 72 he hit or 73.
His on base was almost like 600.
Yeah, it was nuts. It wasn't that high. I think it's like 50-50 though. I think it was like 40 something percent of his at bats and did a home run or a walk, which is crazy to think
That is
about.
crazy.
Yeah. I don't know. So can't confirm. Zach agrees again. Stats matter.
I'm not even going to say that. Stats matter when they're used correctly.
So speaking of Barry Bonds, we got our own very own Barry Bonds on the podcast.
Yeah?
Right.
Who's that?
So this week, I just want to say, I balled the fuck out. I went nuts on the baseball field, dude.
Hang on, I got you. In 2004, 2003, 2002, his on-base percentage was 582, 529,
Oh my
609.
God.
609, I told you.
You're right.
On-base percentage 609.
That sounds like me on Saturday, dude, or Friday.
Why'd you look that up on your phone?
What? 'Cause it's easier.
So on Friday, I believe it was Friday.
OPS.
I believe it's Friday.
1,422.
He's trying to pass the time, so I can't talk shit to
I
him.
heard you threw no hitter.
So, dude, so here we go. So I'm sitting there minding my own business. Come home from
His
work.
defense was making crazy plays.
What does Jake say?
His ghost D.
What does Jake say? Dude, it's a nice day. Let's go play some baseball. I was like, what do you mean? I'll go to my dad's place. I'll grab those little squishy baseballs we have, like the fake baseballs. They can still hit kind of far. And we'll play some accelerated baseball. I'm like, all right, if you want to do that, man, I'm cool with it. I'll do what you want to do. And we go there. We find this old abandoned knothole field I used to play at. It's like overgrown as shit. And we're playing 3 innings, right? 3 innings, just throwing pitches. And, we're calling it kind of by judgment called based on what we think the hit would be, right? And short enough fence, we decide, oh, yeah, we can actually get some home runs here, right? Whole game, it's a barn burner, right? 0-0. Jake's getting shut out, no hit. I have like 1 or 2 hits on him total.
You had 1 hit until the end. 1
hit. Guess what happens in the top of the third? I hit a fucking moonshot over the trees in right field. Just pulled it, yanked it down the line over his head. I go out 1, 2, 3 inning, and then in the bottom of the third inning, and Jake is left to hold his head. Mr. Baseball, Mr. like best player on the team in high school. You remember that, Zach, right?
Yeah, I remember.
Oh, he gets demoralized, absolutely cruised on the baseball field by a guy that hit maybe 200 his whole career in like baseball, maybe 200
on a squish ball field,
maybe 200.
He's
Jake.
making excuses.
He's
man.
making excuses. Well, Goggins would not be happy.
On a squish ball field. I'm not making excuses. You beat me.
You got no hit,
You
Jacob.
beat me a squish ball.
No hit.
No
you
hit,
got a
dude.
single hit.
A squish ball.
A single hit. You want to know the funniest
MVP?
part?
Isn't that right?
You want to know the funniest part? Game's over. He's like, oh, come on, dude. Throw me some more. I got to hit a bomb. First pitch pops out to the foul territory. I just lob one in there. He pops out the foul territory. Then he finally hit a bomb after that.
Don't
I
have
think what
it
it
anymore.
is my swing is so powerful
Oh yeah.
that I could, like, if I get under the ball a little bit, this ball just squishes and folds on itself, and it just turns into a backspin missile.
I seriously think you didn't have the right kind of swing for like most of that game though, because you
happens a
were
lot,
doing
no
that
hitters.
where you were putting a lot of backspin on it. And it was like just rising. You know what I mean? The one I hit it like square like a line drive, and it like rose up over the fence. You know what I mean? It got enough like straight line, and then it like rose up when it was over the fence. But yeah, Jake was hitting a bunch of
my
pop
swing
ups.
is too powerful.
He got no hit.
No hit,
I threw a
man.
no hitter. Had like 6 walks, but he didn't score a run, so it's
How'd
fine.
your arm feel after that?
It was a little sore.
It was a little sore. Yeah.
I was dropping submarine on Jake. I was throwing knucklers at him. He wasn't ready.
Was it the lefty-lefty matchup?
It was a lefty. That's why you can't hit lefties, dude.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
You can't hit lefties.
I
I was
beat Zach
fucking him up.
15-0.
There's nothing more
Right-hander.
satisfying because honestly, I'm not gonna lie. The pitches I threw, like he was just hitting them. They were just being popped outs. You know what I mean? Like he was like making. I wasn't like I was blowing the ball by him. I blew one fastball by him just because he was not ready for it, and I felt so satisfying. The one fastball I like threw like, and he swung lady. I'm like, yes, I did one. I got one past him. I was so happy.
I also do like a change up cutter thingy that hit you in the gut and you swung at it.
Yeah, it did. It fucked me up. It fucked me up. It did fuck me up. It was super fun. I want to do it again. We'll get you out there too, Zach. We can figure out some way to play 3-1-1-1-1.
I'm down.
It's super fun.
Zach's all-time D.
All-time D.
All-time catcher. He's all-time catcher. We don't lose any balls then.
All-time D. We just make him fetch your shit.
Dude, I'll throw that ghost runner out. I don't give a damn.
I'm telling you, his ghost D out there is making
Anyway, I want to say high school baseball MVP just got roasted on the baseball field by a dude that
He was
like,
also a home run champion. I don't know if you know
oh my
that.
God, Jake. You got out-homered. But you know how many homers I hit in my career?
How many?
I-
Home run champion. What do you mean?
Florence Freedom.
The Florence Freedom, yeah.
You know how many homers I hit in my baseball career? None.
Oh.
None. And you gave up a tank to me, dude. That was a no doubter. I bat flipped and everything. I Tatised it.
How long are you going to waste the listeners' time talking about beating
He's so
me in,
mad.
in squish ball?
Listen how mad he is.
So you sent me a video, which was kind of funny. Speaking of bat flips, of Brandon Phillips, one baller move that
yeah, I
he's
saw that
part
too.
owner in a team that he's playing on, which is kind of cool. But he's playing in like a frontier league,
It's like
and-
independent league baseball or something.
I
Yeah,
think they
so
had the owner meeting, and he's like, hey, that number 4 needs to get more playing time.
yeah, for real. Like, hey, put him in the cleanup. You know he's won a World Series championship
Yeah, he
with
won
the Red Sox
Red
in
Sox, yeah.
2018. Yeah,
That dude BP.
yeah. But you know who's never gonna win a World Series? The Reds again. Yeah, and but dude, with Winker and Castellanos just going ham, dude.
Yeah.
I saw that they were leading. I think it was the number 1 and number 2
Batting average.
batting average in the MLB.
They were both top 5 in
OPS,
OPS,
they're
too.
like 1 and 5.
Yeah, they're both
1
top
and
5.
4.
So I'd be curious to see that how many times in MLB history you've had the top 2 players through this many games with in batting average and been 5 games or more under 500, because that's what they are. They're 5 games under 500. They're the top 2 in batting average and top
think
5 in OPS.
The Angels have done it a couple of times.
They had to, right? With
Maybe.
like Trout
Maybe
and
they
like
have
someone
Trout.
else. It never was Pujols
Yeah,
for
just something
sure.
else. I mean, Rendon hasn't done it this year.
No,
So
well, Rendon's only played there
2
for
years.
2 years, so
he didn't.
I don't know who else.
Either.
Trout was definitely been up there before and they've been bad. I just don't know who else they would have had.
It only takes
unless
one
I'm
player,
blanking.
right? 'Cause
Josh,
you know Trout was up there.
Josh Hamilton. Josh Hamilton was on there, had like one good season with them. It was like right when Josh Hamilton was on his downcline. By the way,
Angels would
side
definitely
note,
be the team to look at.
you know, side note, one of my favorite players of all time, Josh Hamilton. I
Do you
love
know
Josh
who
Hamilton.
Jeff
but
Passan is?
Yeah.
The guy who covers MLB for ESPN.
He's like Schefter.
Yeah, he was saying that he was on Pat McAfee's show, and I believe that he said that, how do you say the guy's name? The pitcher who's really good?
Castillo.
No, for the Angels.
Oh, Ohtani.
Oh, yeah, Ohtani. That he should stop pitching and just become an outfielder and a hitter.
Boo.
What do you guys
I
think
think it's
about
kind of
that?
lame. I'm all for two-way players. He's pitching really well, though.
Yeah, there's no sense. I mean, unless you're worried about injury, but even when he did throw his arm out, he still hit tanks.
Yeah.
Like they still had him in the game.
Yeah, he was still hitting the ball when he
had
had his like Tommy John surgery and everything. So, he was still playing outfield and or playing DH, and he was like hitting home runs.
If it was pre-Tommy John, I would agree with him. Yeah. Maybe. I really wouldn't, but I could see his argument better. But since he's already had Tommy John,
Tony's a beast.
Just let him play because the odds of him re-injuring it, I feel like, is less.
Doesn't Tommy John statistically make you throw harder?
Yeah.
For like a shorter period
nowadays
of time?
It does, yeah.
Yeah.
Back in the day, like they didn't know what they were fucking doing, but now that's like a science. Like they know exactly
What
how to do it.
What do they do?
and how to
Take a
make it better.
ligament from like your hamstring and put it in your elbow?
I don't know where they take it from.
They take it from somewhere.
You tear the ligament straight out from the inside of your elbow, and they get it from somewhere.
I know that they put a stronger ligament in there, though.
And then it goes in.
You want to talk about a sad life, though? Imagine being Tommy John, the guy that surgery was named after, the old pitcher. And, like, he's like, I had to get Tommy John surgery. My career's over, right? And nowadays, like, oh, Tommy John surgery. Fuck yeah. I'm going to be throwing 99 now.
Gas and
Yeah, we throwing gas. Ohtani, though. Favorite for MVP right now. He's the betting favorite in Vegas for MVP, AL MVP, which is awesome.
That'd be crazy.
That is awesome.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, he gets to add his
Pitching
batting war, his fielding war, and his pitching war all
I know.
together. So
Isn't
if what they have called it lately is the War Award,
Yeah.
which I don't personally agree with, but it seems as if almost every year the leader in war gets the award, right?
But I do think it's
So
crazy.
if you're going to go with the War Award, he'd be very hard to beat.
That's a very hard word
The
to say.
War Award.
War Award. Say that 5 times
War Award.
fast.
War Award, War Award, War Award, War Award, War Award. I'm just saying War
You
Award.
just speak fast. So I want to go back to the Winker whole Reds thing, and Griff and I were talking about this. Jake, I want to get your opinion on it. So Luis has a 1-7 record with like a 7 point something ERA.
Yeah, Castillo.
Yeah, Castillo. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to get into the whole David Bell argument because I know that we both disagree with that. But why is he still pitching? Why is he still going out every 5th day on the mound? Griff said that he obviously looks hurt with a 1-7 record with a 7-something ERA. Why is a professional pitcher still going out on the mound?
I think you hope he proves himself. He's a young player. He's not super young anymore, but he's on the younger side, and his potential is just off the charts. His talent is unreal. His spin rate, his fastball. I think his fastball in starting pitchers is top 3. I think he's the 3rd fastest starting pitcher fastball in the entire league.
Like average velocity, yeah, I saw
which
that.
is crazy. You wouldn't think that.
He doesn't throw 102, but he just consistently throws 98 like every time.
I'm sure you could probably break down on why he's giving up these runs, and I'm not personally sure of it, if it's walks, if it's locations, but it is something that's probably fixable. And I don't personally think it's injury. I think that people like push that on him.
I think he's got something wrong with him. That's my opinion.
But if it was something wrong with you, the stats are so advanced now, they would know.
Yeah.
Like your fastball would be decreased velocity, your spin rates would be down. But would an injury make you throw just as hard but miss your location? That doesn't make a ton of sense to me. You would think you would lose velocity or something. I think you're just banking on him being good. I mean, do you sit Suarez for hitting 180?
He's hitting like 150.
I mean, if
dude.
Kyle Farmer can come in and prove himself to hit a little bit
Suarez
better.
for hitting 150, or do you say, hey, Suarez has hit 150 bombs for us the past 5 years. Give him some time, you know? Eventually, they're going to come around. Eventually, Suarez is going to hit, I don't want to say 30 anymore because it's getting kind of late, and he's not. But eventually, he's going to hit 20-plus bombs for the Reds.
But how long can you say eventually, like in the season, when you're literally right there within a couple games of the Cubs, which are, 3 games behind St. Louis? Isn't that what you said? 2 games? Like, how can you sit there and just say, oh, I hope Suarez eventually hits? Like, put Farmer in if he's hitting 200. I mean, that's still
your team, man.
.50 above.
I mean,
put Castillo down at AAA.
Think about their ability as a base and as like a peak. So you got a Kyle Farmer. Let's say his bottom performance number is probably 120 batting average and 15 home runs. And no, that's pretty top. Probably top. He's probably 315 home runs. Look at Suarez as top. He's probably a 290 hitter with 45, 50 home runs. Like their peaks are way different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to give that guy with the higher peak, the higher potential, more opportunities to succeed because you want him to reach that peak that the other player never will reach.
So I have a question. Do you guys think they're going to re-sign Castellanos this offseason?
No.
You don't think so?
I don't think they'll re-sign Winker whenever that's up either.
What I'm thinking is,
this is why I hate being a fucking Reds fan.
We can't get to this argument. Or Zach and I are going to go around to the salary cap.
Yeah,
Zach and I are going to go around to the salary cap. Keep talking about the re-sign. I just want to prove a point to this point, saying like that the Reds better start kicking in gear here soon and getting some more wins because now I think they're 7 games out of first place now. I think they are.
They're starting to fall behind.
So. I think they're 7 games out of first, right?
I mean, they're still 3 games under 500 right now.
No, yeah, they're 5 games under 500, but
5 games.
Still, I think they're 7 games out of first.
5.5.
5.5 out of first.
Yep.
Okay, so 5.5 out of first, right? If they keep going on these losing streaks, right, and diving down, they're just gonna trade Castellanos at the trade deadline. Because why would they keep him on their team if they know they're not gonna re-sign him?
For sure, I would.
Yeah, why would they not just trade him and get prospects for him?
100% aren't going to sign him. Yeah. That's exactly what we do. You trade him.
The only way I think they don't trade him is if they're in first place or they're in that contention for first place and they buy a player, right, just to try and get him over the hump so they can make a playoff run and then they just let him go. Similar to the Bauer situation.
No
right?
doubt.
And that's my thing. And I'm not saying that every single one of the 7 losses that Luis Castillo threw was going to be a win. There's no way that you could prove that. But that's my point is put him down in AAA and let him figure his shit out. Plug somebody else in there. I know Antone, I believe is his name.
I want him to start. I think he's good.
He wants to be a starting pitcher. Put him in at the 5 spot and just bump everybody up 1 spot and I wouldn't really call it a cancer, but he's obviously not contributing to the team right now. Put him down in AAA and let him figure this out.
So Fair Castillo's last start, he threw 11 Ks and 2 earned runs and 6.
But didn't they still lose?
They did lose, but you can't blame the pitcher.
I thought the last game he got rocked, just the other day.
Yeah, that's what I thought
was 2
too.
games ago.
Yeah, he just got rocked.
Okay.
Before that, he had a really good game. That was the game I was telling you about. I saw him throw a nasty changeup, but then he gave up a bomb after that, and it was a meatball he threw.
But going back into what we were talking about earlier is this is why you said I forget the exact words you said, but how I was the most interesting fan. I literally root for my teams to lose.
Yeah, and it blows my mind.
And I'm
the complete opposite.
I want them to win and I want them to do good, but why just keep losing and trade your best player at the trade deadline and get prospects that? Because
they don't want to lose.
Then over time, but no. This is my point: is over time it consistently is that same thing year after year after year after year after year.
How do you win then?
And exactly that is my point: is why do you want to keep losing and just we'll trade this guy away and get prospects hopefully, and David Bell's not working out or Brian Price isn't working out or Dusty Baker's not working out. We'll just get rid of them. Why? That just blows my mind. Is why can't you just put a team out there? If you see a guy struggling, why is he in the starting lineup?
Well, the Reds can't compete because they don't have enough money to spend.
That's not anything close to it. It's David Bell not knowing how to coach and manage. You have a guy who is supposedly your ace that is 1-7 with a 7 ERA. Why is he still going out there every 5th day? Why?
I mean, I can see that argument, but
no, I agree with that earlier.
And I agree with Griff. I agree with Griff. He is a very good, what'd you call him?
He's a players coach. Right, he trusts his players.
And I agree with that, to a certain extent, but...
I like the players coaches, but I even agreed with you earlier. To an extent, it's there's a guy when he's hurting the team. I think Castillo's hurting the team right now. So even if he's not hurt, right, I don't see the damage in putting him down for at least 1 start in AAA or maybe 2 starts.
I'll use an example of it paying off. And this is Amir Garrett's first 4, 5, 6 outings.
Yeah.
He got crushed. His ERA was
15.
Yeah, up in the teens. And his past 8 appearances,
been good.
Scoreless, shutdown. Hasn't given up a run in 8. His numbers still don't look good, but that's an example of Amir Garrett. You know that player is a fucking nasty slider, and the lefties aren't going to hit him. If you bring him up, he's going to, over time, as his numbers start to accumulate, they're going to be good, right?
But there's also a flaw in that argument because he's been suspended for a total of, 10 games now?
I don't know. So
Like he could go work off field and like get
I don't know.
whatever
So,
is going on fixed.
The one reason I want to point out is just like I don't see the harm in putting him down for one game or maybe 2 games in the minors just to like say, hey, get your stuff right, play some hitters that aren't as good, maybe play some 20-year-olds, right, and just try and get your stuff there, right. Whether it's spin rate he needs work on, or I don't think his spin rate's even that been in this year. I think it's more of a location thing. But just go down there, pitch a couple games, and in those 2 games, maybe get someone like Anto and just like 2 starts, right, and just see how it goes, right. See if Anto can actually pitch a whole game, and see if Castillo gets his stuff up. Then Castillo has like maybe hopefully a couple good outings, gets his confidence back, and you bring him back up, and he's ready for the majors again.
Yeah.
I don't see because it's not like he's gonna make less money, right? They're still paying him his contract. They have him. I don't see like the harm in putting him down for like 1 or 2 games when you're struggling that much. Ian Happ a couple of years ago for the Cubs. This is the year before COVID year. He was just miserable. Like it was like Suarez level, right? He had like 1 home run after he just hit like 25 the year before. He had like 1 home run hitting like 120, and they sent him down the minors for a month, right? And for a month, he started out miserable his first week and then hit like 350 the rest, then came back up and finished the season hitting 300. Like not overall, but 300 since he came back. And like I think it's good for a player's confidence when they can see the ball go over the fence, or they can see, the ball getting thrown to third base after a strikeout, even against like minor league guys. That's just my opinion. Might not be the right way. He might go down there and still suck. He might actually be hurt somehow, and then he's just playing through it. And David Bell is like, but you're injured. You can play through it if you want. So I'm not sure. I don't know all the details. I just know he's struggling right now.
My thing with Castillo, too, is when he gets pulled, he's like joking and laughing and shit on the bench. Like, wouldn't you be mad if you gave up 8 runs that game?
I think different people have different type of mindsets when they go into games or leave games, right? There's some guys like Roy Halladay who wouldn't talk to anyone when he went to go on the mound. Like right before he pitched, he like was ghosted everybody for like 2 hours for the game, just getting like this like mental like chamber, right? And go out there to pitch. Wouldn't like communicate with like anyone except for his pitching coach and his catcher during the game. Then he'd leave the game and be pissed off if he got taken out in like the 6th inning, right? Because he's like I could have gone like 7 or 8 or 9 even, right? Then you got guys like like Castillo or like even like Bauer, right? Bauer like wears his heart on his sleeve. I think that's pretty obvious, right? But he's still like he'll go in the dugout after a game and like have 6 innings, maybe go 3 or 4 runs. He'll be mad, but then you'll see him joking in the dugout too because he's just like that personality. I think there's different people that just have different mindsets for games.
Yeah,
I don't think baseball specifically. I don't think you need like a certain mindset of going in with crazy intensity. Like mostly you just need focus. If you can figure out how to focus when you're on the mound, I think at some point if you give up 8 runs and you get off the bench, like you should probably take a little more. Like I don't know, you shouldn't feel good about yourself sitting on the bench. You should probably be like, well, I fucked up. I got to go work on something, or like you shouldn't be joking around. But I don't think baseball you need to be intense.
No, and like I'm not saying he needs to go slam his head up against a concrete wall and like get his shit right, but like
beat the shit out of the cooler with the baseball bat.
He's literally hurting the team, which like Winker and Castellanos is like literally carrying that team and like trying to make it better. And then you got like guys like Winker who are 1-7 and
Winker Dinker's a beast, by the way. He's been balling out,
dude. Funny story. I want to tell you guys this. So I used to think that it was Scott Schebler and Jesse Winker competing when they were both younger, and I used to hate when they would put Winker in. I was like, put Scott Schebler in, dude. That guy needs to be the starter.
Yeah.
And boy, was I way wrong.
That sounds like Zach take.
Yeah.
But I want to say, because you'll know this, Jake. So is Winker's fielding really as bad as they say it is? Because like that's the whole thing I see on the internet. Like all these Reds fans I follow, right? They'll be like, "Oh, Winker's awesome. If he can learn how to like play the field a little more, it's not like speed. It's like It's like just like his like instincts in the field. If they can get better, then he'll be like a stud. You know what I mean? It's just the problem. He's like a one-way player right now. That's just stuff I see on the internet all the time.
It seems to me to be perfectly adequate defense. I mean, he's not the best defender. He's not going to win a Gold Glove. The problem with it is that whatever he does, the defensive metrics don't seem to like it.
Yeah.
So I don't know what goes into the defensive metrics, and I don't personally like defensive metrics that much. But
they don't matter.
But it hurts his WAR, and it's going to bring him down.
I see what you mean.
Which
is stupid.
When they keep talking about him as an MVP, when his defensive WAR is negative.
Yeah.
It's going to be hard for him to win the WAR award.
I see what you mean. It's hard. I think it's hard to, in general, to win like an MVP on like a losing team or a team that's like, not really contending. I think the baseball voters are like purists, right? They're all baseball purists and old heads and everything. You know what I mean? So they're going to be the guys like, oh, we're really going to vote for Jesse Winker, even though he had like the second best or the best OPS in baseball, but his team only won like, 58 games, or it won't be that much. They only won like 78 games, something like that. Yeah, but they still made the playoffs.
Yeah, but like
they were a playoff team.
Playoffs?
No, I'm talking about like losing teams that don't make the playoffs. It's hard to win MVP.
The Oilers.
Yeah.
Or,
so
Orioles?
the only times I can think of like players winning MVP when like losing teams. Like Mike Trout's definitely done it before.
Yeah, for real.
But you look at his stats; they were like ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like we'll talk about the War. His War was insane. But it's not very common. You look at some of the past MVPs, right?
We could have coined that.
Yeah.
I know.
How many times can we say that in the episode?
Look at some of the past MVPs that like the year Yelich won, right? Brewers made the playoffs. Chris Bryant, they won the World Series that year. You know what I mean? You look at some of the past like all these teams that are like in the playoffs doing really good. Cody Bellinger. So it's very, very rare.
But the idea behind that is that player essentially makes
made their
the
team
whole
win.
team better. Yeah,
I agree.
Right.
That's why it's the most valuable player. That's why I think it's going to be hard for Winker or Castellanos to win an MVP on the Reds if they don't start winning the game. Yeah. Not saying they won't win because they're only 5 games out. They can easily go on like a 5-game run. Right. And then the Cardinals drop 3 and the Cubs drop 3, and then all of a sudden they're like a game and a half or 2 games out of first.
But I don't like that whole mindset of the Reds trying to not correct things. And like that's my biggest problem with Cincinnati teams is like they just like go with the motions of everyday things and they don't try to correct things of
It's hard to win, dude. There's 30 other teams trying to win.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but
It's hard to win.
Be better at it. I mean, shit.
You can't just be like, we're gonna go win and go win. Like, it's hard.
But if you have a player who is 1-7 who can't throw a ball, if you have a player that's batting 130 or whatever Suarez is, like, why are they out there?
I can see that, but there's a lot of politics that go into that as well. What if you're the manager and you're like, hey, we're gonna send Luis Castillo down, and Mr. Moneybags up there says, fuck no, we're not. We're paying that guy 20 mil this year.
How much they paying Suarez this year?
And say, I'm the GM of this team.
You're the one that said you shouldn't sit Andy Dalton because you're paying him too much salary. So why would you send Luis Castillo down?
Why would you send Luis Castillo down? That's way different. That is way different.
Okay.
He is still going down there to practice and then eventually come back up. He's not sitting on the bench doing nothing.
Anyway, we got some more MLB talk. Tatis and Acuna both hit 3 bombs in 2 days. They're both insane.
Winker hit 4 in 2 days.
I know. Winker. I already said Winker's insane. But if you think about like the best young players in baseball,
Acuna's leading in home runs.
Yeah, he passed up Shohei by 1. So I was thinking about like if you think about like your Mount Rushmore players right now, the guys that like are going to be the best players in baseball in like 2 years, right? Obviously not name Mike Trout. We can't say Mike Trout. Like, who would you name? And I was thinking about, I was like, it's got to be
Acuna,
Tatis, and what's his name? Soto, right?
Yeah.
Those 3 for sure. And honestly, I'm tempted to just put Shohei there the way he's been playing this year from both ways and like hitting the shit out of the ball. Well, so Bryce Harper's older though. I'm talking about young players. I could see Vladdy on the list too. I'd probably go Shohei over Vladdy right now, but I could be wrong.
That dude is so big in real life.
Yeah,
Vladdy's a beast.
Jagged.
Yeah, Vladdy's a beast. He's a hunk of ham.
Oh my god.
But yeah, just like. Those players, I think they're going to be battling out for like the face of baseball, right?
Zach, who do you think is the swaggiest player in the MLB?
The swaggiest?
Swaggiest. Who's got like just
Me and Griff narrowed
swag.
it down to Javi Baez, Fernando Tatis, and
I think Acuna could probably be up there too. We have Bryce Harper up there, but I think Acuna could be up there too.
I think Bryce Harper has the looks, but I don't think he's very
Harper's
swaggy.
definitely the swaggiest white boy. Definitely the swaggiest white boy in the MLB.
I would say Tatis.
Tatis.
I think we both said Tatis. I think all of us said Tatis.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit of homer for Javi Baez, so I didn't bring him up, but Jake brought him up. I was like, yeah, I was going to say him if you didn't. So, but I think Tatis is probably the swaggiest.
Got swag.
Castellanos has, dude. I told you. Remember what he said about Chris Bryant?
Right, yeah.
So Chris Bryant was in a slump, and he gave him his chains, and he goes, he needs more swag, and he went out there and hit 2 dingers with both the Castellanos chains on.
Moving on.
But Trevor Bauer too. So is he proven it wasn't a fluke? He's got the best ERA in the team. He's balling out on the Dodgers. Is he still using sticky stuff, you think?
No. Doubt is he using sticky stuff. His spin rate is still in the 100th percentile on this fastball. And
crazy.
Going back to 2018 pre-Reds stint, it was in the, I think, 75th percentile. So he kind of jumped up all the way to 100 and it hasn't fallen back down.
Yeah.
Seems weird.
I don't think he was as dominant as he was now.
Right.
I think he was more dominant last year than he was this year, but he's still dominant this year, if that makes sense. Like with the Reds last year, he was more dominant than he currently is.
Right.
But his wins and losses are a little bit skewed because the Dodgers had that span where like Cody Bellinger was hurt, Seager was hurt. Like they had a bunch of offensive players hurt, so they were scoring like 3 runs a game.
They're hot again.
Yeah, they're winning a bunch now.
They're one game back. But that's a tight division. Padres, Dodgers, Giants.
Look up Bauer's stats, though. I'm pretty sure he's the best ERA in the staff. He's like the most strikeouts in the staff. Maybe Buehler might have more strikeouts because he strikes a fuckload of people out. But Yeah, Trevor Bauer's balling out this year again. So that was the whole thing. Is like, the Mickey Mouse Cy Young and everything like that. It's not real. It was the COVID year. It's just like a fluke year, and then
5-2
out here balling out
with a 1.98 ERA.
So
10 games.
I know one of those losses was a 1-0 loss to the Cubs. So,
Damn.
I mean, I don't know how you explain just the sudden jump in spin rate. I mean, if it climbed the ladder, if it was like 2017, he was in the 89th, and in 2018,
He was 95.
it was in like the 92, and then 95, and then up.
yeah, I feel you.
But like, just go straight from above average to the 100th percentile.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
And
I think
like,
I think he's probably using sticky
practice.
stuff, but I think he's not doing anything different than any other
I mean, I
pitcher.
agree. He works super hard, and he
for
cares
sure.
about.
I
the spin
love his
rate.
videos. I love watching the momentum videos. I love just watching all his workouts. He does like, hey, here's my mindset when
So
I'm
if there
doing this, and
was
here's why I do
someone
this.
that could improve their spin rate without using it, it'd probably be Bauer, just because that's what he wants to do.
Yeah.
But I think he's using it.
Do you think that this is kind of irrelevant, but do you think they care about spin rate in football?
No,
No.
not at
I
all.
didn't think so.
Because they're not trying to fool batters. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They're
I
just
guess
trying to
that's
throw a
true.
spiral and just hit you in the stripes.
Well, I was just
you know what
thinking
I mean?
like spin rate probably equals more velocity in like
mean,
very narrow-minded way.
Yeah, but I think like arm strength is obviously important in the NFL, right? But when I think of spin rate, I think of it as a way to fool a batter, get movement on your fastball, right? Like to get your fastball to have that
Deceptive.
tail. Yeah,
Yeah.
make it more deceptive. In the NFL, that's the opposite. You want it to go right in their hands. You don't want the ball to be wiggling in the air when they're trying to catch it, you know? So I don't think they give a shit about that at all. I think they're just saying you need to throw a good spiral and you can throw the ball hard and you can throw it far. You know
So
what I mean?
faster spinning would probably look or appear to be a better spiral.
It could be.
So it
yeah.
might help you, but they wouldn't look at it as a stat that would matter.
No, I don't think so. Anyway, all-time freak-out moment by Davey Martinez, former Cubs bench coach. He's the manager of the Nationals. I'm assuming you guys watch this.
I did not
not,
watch it.
no.
Oh, my
But I did
God. Look
see-
it up. Bring
I
up
did see
Davey
the clip.
Martinez. Dude, he went nuts. He got so pissed off. It was actually in the Cubs game that they were playing. I was watching it live when it happened. And he got mad because Trey Turner was running to first base, and Wilson Contreras threw to first. And the ball hit Trey Turner in the back, and they called him out for interference on the ball. They called Trey Turner out for interference for saying they would have been out, but he was running in the base path. I think it was kind of BS. Like they were pointing basically saying that there's a runner's line. He was running on the line, not in the runner's line. Maybe this is it. No, this isn't it. This is old. This is really old.
Yeah, this is
So that's where it was against the Cubs. But Davey Martinez got mad because the
4 days ago, the one at the very top.
that's what I clicked on.
That's weird. What about the third one down? I don't know.
yeah, how old is that? Yeah, here it is.
Yeah,
so watch this.
turn your sound on.
Let's watch it. So
Oh, that got away from Contreras. I thought that was fast. And that one thrown away to right field. But there,
it was a bad call. He should have been safe, but they called him out because they said that he was running in the baseline and not running in the runner's lane.
Right.
And Davey Martinez gets pissed off and asks him and gets ejected. And said he was running in the middle of the baseline, not the runner's lane. And so Dave Martinez picks up the bag, plants it at the end of the runner's lane, says, "If you want him to run the runner's lane, put the bag there." And just like picks it up out of the ground and puts it in the runner's lane to the right of the
I wanna
bag.
see this.
See,
Them freaking
that's-
out the base.
yeah, he literally rips it out. So he's mad because they called him out for running on the line.
I would say that was a bad call.
I think it was definitely a bad
Yeah.
call because I think he was going to be safe
running-
regardless.
He was running dead straight at the base.
Yes, he throws in the runners. I know he's running
Did
dead
not
straight at the base.
deviate 1 inch.
I
at
think
all.
too. I think
So
a
you
good
guys
throw.
think that the batter should run in the base path, eh?
Huh?
So you guys think the batter should be running in the base path,
Yeah,
eh?
but he's not trucking someone over. If he trucked the first baseman over, that'd be different. But anyway,
Shit straight,
for this one, they
boys.
threw it. I think though, regardless, he was going to be safe. Like the timing of the throw and everything, and Trey Turner's fast as hell, right? So I think even if they throw outside and Rizzo catches it outside, I think he just beats it out in general. I think he had the base beat anyway. Because like when he hit him in the back, he was basically touching the base already when he hit him, which is still stupid to me. Like if you're touching the base and get hit in the back, you should be safe. You know what I mean?
Well, you could reach out farther with a glove than
No, you could.
if it hit you in the back.
I understand that, but I'm saying the point that it hit him, he was already on the base. I think it was a bad call. I'm a Cubs fan
think it
too.
was a
So.
bad call, too.
Anyway, I think it's hilarious freak out because he literally said he's supposed to run in the runner's path, and he picks up the base out of the base path, puts it in the runner's path, and put the base fucking there. Then, if you want him to run the base path, you know what I mean? Like that runner's path is for like rounding. You know what I mean?
Right.
He wasn't even he wasn't in the grass. If he was in the grass, I would say that's kind of a different story.
No, I agree.
But he wasn't in the grass.
No,
so
I agree.
was
I think it's a bad
clean
call. And then also Jacob deGrom just dominating 19-year-olds.
Unfair.
That's unfair as hell.
Unfair.
He just like what he.
be
I think
awesome.
he faced like 9 batters and struck like 8 of them out or something like that. Like we were talking to Jacob, the one dude that like popped his curveball up in the infield was like, dude, you made contact with Jacob deGrom. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's just like dominating. I think they had Noah Syndergaard do the next starts, like back-to-back games. They were going against like 100-mile-an-hour flamethrowers from the majors.
Screw
That would be like playing the notoriety of like a Michael Jordan and like
Yeah.
Tim Tebow in the minor leagues.
So,
like, facing DeGrom.
I would feel bad, but it was the Cardinals minor leaguers, so I'm like, fuck them. I want them to like get so demoralized they don't want to play in the MLB then because of the
Just quit.
Cardinals. Yeah.
St. Louis doesn't have a farm team anymore.
Maybe that's a strategy.
Yeah, you just send your guys down to the minors.
Yeah, right.
You want to hear some weird stories? So you remember that old baseball game I used to have, Jake, the MVP baseball game that we used to play? It was like on Wii.
Yeah.
So back in the day, I did a franchise, and I picked a random team with my eyes closed, and I got the Rays, all right? So I did a franchise with the Rays, got all these insanely good players. This is back when I was like in middle school. And I kept winning the World Series, and I got bored. So I traded all my players to my AAA team. So I want to see how many World Series I can win in AAA. And my AAA team was full like 98 overalls, just dominating like 50 overalls in AAA. And I was like so pumped that I was winning the World Series every year in AAA. And my major league team was full of like 50 overalls. I was just like losing. And I was sitting there like, oh, I won 5 straight AAA World Series. And my major league team's like winning 20 games a year. I don't know why.
Stacking the
I don't know
team,
why I
baby.
thought it was so cool, but I had like Sean Casey on my team. He was like super good.
Stacking the teams.
The mayor?
The mayor. I had like Sean Casey, David Ortiz, like all these insanely good players. Anyway, so that's it for baseball talk. You guys got anything else you want to add in?
No, I don't think I got anything.
So kind of a slow week in the NFL other than the Julio Jones news. So Julio Jones
We're gonna play it.
on the move. So we'll play the clip here in a second, so I won't ruin it, but he basically saying he's leaving, right? So
Yeah,
we'll play the clip here in a
Just
second.
emailed it to you.
So with Julio Jones, some of the teams that are in play, right? Cardinals and Patriots are the 2 most common ones I've heard. I heard the Patriots are the favorite right now. That's what I saw on the info webs from some of the NFL talking heads that the Patriots are the favorite. I also saw the Cowboys want to go after him, but then he kind of roasted the Cowboys in this. So
Dude, he did, yeah.
roasted the shit out of them. I also saw the Browns too. The Browns trying to be players and possibly trade Jarvis Landry and get Julio Jones and Odell Beckham on
Why
their
would
team.
you trade Jarvis Landry? Trade OBJ.
I'm just letting you know what I saw.
oh my gosh.
I'm just letting you know what I saw. I think it's just the upside on OBJ. Like you've seen him like do it like to that extent before, right? And they're paying him X amount of money. But I can see the argument you're making.
Yeah, I mean, OBJ was great when he was at the Giants, but he
Yeah.
hasn't done shit.
I think he still could be good. I think injury problems hindered him, but he wasn't playing that great with Baker. But then once he got hurt, they started playing really well. So that's the argument that can be had. I think I'd still keep OBJ over Jarvis Landry in my opinion. I think he's a better player. I
think skill-wise, but
I think they're an outside shot to get Julio though. I don't think they're going to be like the team that gets him. I just saw that they were thinking up a trade. There was like mock trades going on. The Browns are interested in possibly trading draft picks and
just YouTube it.
and
I
what's his
know
name?
This is hard.
Yeah, you can just look it up on YouTube. Jake doesn't know how email works.
Yeah, I thought you had your email just like
no,
on
my
your computer.
sucks dick.
Jake doesn't know how email works. Just look it up on YouTube.
Yeah.
But anyway, Julio Jones was on First Take today. Not First Take. It used to be First Take. It's Undisputed. So the Shannon Sharp and notorious cowboy lover Skip Bayless, right?
Yeah.
I need to be Griff Bayless. That's what I need to be because I'm a Cowboy fan.
So while
Not
Jake is
Griffin A. Smith.
pulling this up, it might be quicker just to YouTube it. I think that
Yeah, just YouTube it. Jake, you're being too stubborn. Just YouTube it.
Yeah, just YouTube it. Just do Skip Bayless, Julio.
Do Julio Jones. I guarantee it pops up.
Yeah. One, I just want to say how shitty was that for him to not tell
Didn't
Julio
tell him it
Jones
on live.
that he's on live TV.
Hey, man, you going to the Cowboys?
Yeah, for
He's like-
real. Do the second one.
No, yeah, it's kind of messed up.
Yeah. You think we can play this?
Why not?
I mean, it's just a conversation. It's nothing.
It's on YouTube. We'll be fine. Everything on YouTube's free.
Calling.
This all stemmed because he was wearing a Cowboys
Watch it,
hoodie
Julio.
Really
for a
hope he
picture in
answers here.
Dallas.
Julio, have the guts to pick up the phone.
What's happening?
Yeah.
All right.
Julio. Hold on. Let me put you on. Can you hear me?
I got you. This is your favorite uncle. What's going on, bro?
Man, nothing much. About to go meet up with my brother. What's happening with you?
Man, look. You want to go to the Cowboys, Julio? Or you want to stay in Atlanta?
Oh, man, nah, I'm out of there, man.
You out of there?
He's out of there.
Are you going to... Ideally, where would you like to go?
Right now, I want to win.
Okay. Well, don't go to Dallas. If you go to, you ain't winning in Dallas, Julio.
Man, listen, come on, man. You already know I know.
Okay.
Can you remind him we're on television?
Just the fact
Skip-
that he
Skip's
says,
face.
"Man, you already know. I know
Skip
that."
Bayless's face, he's like so demoralized. He's like, "Oh my god, there's a chance we're gonna get Julio Jones," and he just sees, "You already know, I know." And Skip's like, "Oh,
Yeah,
Oh.
no, dude.
oh man, oh yeah."
But I don't really care for this show. I think it's terrible. But
Yeah.
for the fact that he didn't tell Julio
It's
Jones,
pretty shitty.
that is shitty.
Julio probably had no idea he
journalism.
was live.
No, and that is shitty journalism on that dude's part for just straight calling some dude. That'd be like
Yeah.
us if we were like a Pat McAfee level and just calling Aaron Rodgers and be like, "Hey man, why didn't you show up to OTAs today?"
Yeah.
or
You're
mandatory workouts. Like that is so
He's
shitty.
like, "Oh man, I'm still fighting with Matt LaFleur or something stupid."
Yeah, for
he's like,
real.
"Oh, you're live on Barstool Heartland. You're live on Pat McAfee show." You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
for real.
So I do think it's messed up. The one thing I want to point out, so hypothetically goes to the Cowboys, right? Does it make sense for the Cowboys to go for him? Do you think it would be a good trade for him to trade for Julio Jones? Only for the fact that you guys give me your opinions and I'll give you mine. Just thinking, right? So they got, Pro Bowl caliber receiver who's had insane seasons the last 3 years with the Cowboys. They got a rookie who was an insanely good rookie who had 1,000 receiving yards as a rookie year. And then Michael Gallup, who's a pretty good receiver, right? I think he's above average, right? I don't think he's great. I think he's a good receiver. He's above average, and he could be like a wide receiver one on some teams. So does it make sense for him to trade for Julio Jones?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Sure.
And I think
I mean, they're
that-
not as good as Julio Jones.
That's what I was about to say. So it's like
But
the same
there's
thing I
other
had
teams
with
out there that it makes more sense than it does for the
So
Cowboys, right?
that-
But that's
That's
just
what I was
like
gonna
saying,
say.
should the Bengals trade for Julio Jones?
No,
with
exactly.
T.
That's what I was going to
Higgins
say. Is
and
certain
Jamar
teams have
Chase,
different needs, right?
Boyd?
Because it's similar to this thing I was saying with the Cardinals, right? I was like, because I even said in there, I don't think that'd be a bad trade for them. I just think they have more needs in other places. Because I think
Right.
they have a lot of receivers on their team.
I agree with that.
Cowboys are pretty much loaded at receiver at 1, 2, 3, right? And then they also have Cedric Wilson at 4, who's had a pretty good season last year, filling in for some spots, and he even threw a touchdown, which is pretty dope. But anyway, so they got a lot of receivers. It'd be awesome if they got Julio Jones, having Julio and Amari, both the Alabama boys. But at the same time, like, they need defense, right? Their offense was not an issue last year pre-injury. Their offense was number 1 in the league.
Not at all.
Their offense was,
Not even
it was
after.
number 1 in the league before all the injuries. And their issue was defense. That's why they started out, 1 and 4,
Dude, that's
whatever.
just like
they were losing
saying
a bunch
Joe
of games.
Burrow was going to be Rookie of the Year before his injury.
No, it's not. They were
That is the same exact thing you're saying.
not at all.
Wasn't all right.
I mean, he was.
It would have been
he
him
was
or
up
Herbert.
there.
It would have been him or Herbert. I mean, they would have been neck and neck all season. They were the number 1 ranked offense in the league, Zach.
Okay, and Joe Burrow was up there to be Rookie of the Year.
So
then he got hurt.
what's so crazy about me saying that?
I just think that it's a terrible take. Why are you arguing that?
They were the number 1 ranked offense in the league. I think the issue
Okay,
on
but
their
that's
team
just
is
like
defense.
me going on and on and on saying Joe Burrow was going to be Rookie of the Year. But it didn't happen.
Okay, I don't understand what you're arguing then.
All right, continue.
I don't understand what you're arguing. I'm saying their problem is defense.
Okay.
That's the Cowboys' problem. Can we agree on that?
Yeah, I agree with that.
Their problem is their defense. That's the reason they lost so many games.
A problem.
It's one of the problems. They're off in injuries. It was injuries and defense. That's what fucked them over last year, right? I think they win more games if they don't have that many injuries last year, right? I think we can probably agree on that. Doesn't mean their defense is going to play any better. Their defense played dog shit. But that's the issue I'm saying is like Julio Jones would be awesome. I'd much rather probably have, solid defenders on the D line or, secondary play. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think there's teams that probably could use a receiver. Like the Eagles need receivers horribly bad, right? The Eagles should be trying to pry at their like fucking tits to try and get Julio Jones in their team. You
He's
know what I
going
mean?
to the Patriots.
I can see the Patriots need receivers too. I think the Patriots
do.
makes the most sense. So they need receivers for sure.
Dude, Cam Newton and Julio Jones. Oh, that'd be so dirty.
Cam Newton's a running back.
He is a running back. But when he has a elite level wide receiver out there,
No, I mean I
He's
agree.
gonna be dope.
I think it'll be making better. I don't know if it'll be dope.
it would be dope.
I got to see him have a good year first because he's been bad the last couple of years he's played. Injuries harmed his career, man. Sucks.
Damn, I'm gonna hate to see the Russell Wilson just break apart this year. just suck.
No, he's gonna come out and ball out for 3 games, and we're gonna have to fucking hear it.
Yeah, we're gonna
8
hear
games.
it.
And then he's gonna fucking start throwing picks,
Fall
and
apart.
pick sixes,
Pick
and
sixes.
his deep balls are gonna be too deep.
He's gonna hate his offensive line.
You guys act like the last 8 games of the season he plays like a bottom tier quarterback, and he doesn't. He's still like a top tier quarterback. It's just not the level you saw him play the first 8 games. So you're like, oh, he sucks.
Griffin.
When in all reality, he's
Griffin.
still playing like a top
Griffin.
10 quarterback the rest of the season. So
He's good enough to be relevant, but he's just not good enough.
dude, I don't know what you need. The players have ranked him in the top like 3 quarterbacks every single year for the past 4 years,
just
and
need him
I
to be
trust their
proven.
opinion way more than you. So
I just need him to be proven.
I trust their opinion way more than you. He is 100%.
His one
proven.
Super Bowl that you like to hide his pride on.
Yeah?
Defense won it. Oh damn! I hate to hear that.
You think the defense won that Super Bowl?
Yeah.
You think the defense won that Super Bowl?
Statistically, yeah,
you think
they
he had
did.
nothing to do with that Super Bowl?
No, not really.
Nothing to do with the run
He
getting
threw
there
like
at all.
200 yards, maybe.
That's cap. That's cap. If you think that he had nothing to do with the
The
Super Bowl
number
win.
one scoring offense in the Broncos got literally almost shut out by the number one defense that year.
They didn't get almost shut out.
Yeah, they were pretty close. I think they only scored like 8 points.
They scored like, yeah, well, you know.
Yeah.
Listen.
We'll keep going.
It blows my mind that you just downplay a Super Bowl so much just because it's Russell Wilson, right?
I don't downplay it at all. I
You
just
would
think
100%.
that
if Aaron Rodgers played in that game, would have it counted?
I think that it would have been the same argument to where Aaron Rodgers didn't do much.
Okay, I can agree with you on the fact that you're actually throwing Aaron Rodgers on the bus for that. So
Yeah, I mean,
I can agree
like,
with that. But I
Russell
think
Wilson
either
still
way
has
it's a dumb
Super
take.
Bowl.
I think
Aaron
either way,
Rodgers still has a Super Bowl,
I think either
that
way
doesn't show that he's an elite
I think
level.
either way it's a dumb take. I think you win a Super Bowl and you have this part of a career, it's elite. We've gone over this argument more.
So then
times,
their punter
so.
was elite because he won that Super Bowl? His
No,
punter-
I'm talking quarterbacks are elite, not fucking punters. Jesus Christ.
Anyways,
Wisen up. No more news for NFL, really.
NFL or NBA playoffs, dude. How's LeBron doing?
LeBron put on an all-time clinic
Yeah,
from as far as injuries go.
I heard that he's falling and
He's
he can't
flopping
get
all
up.
over the place on like everything. So first did it in the first we actually legitimately got like straight up like eye gouged in by Draymond Green in that game. I don't know if you guys saw that clip. He legitimately got his eyes gouged. But LeBron does this thing. It's kind of smart where he makes it look worse than it is. Almost like a soccer effect. You see soccer players like faking their dives and stuff, and they get the calls, right? And that's how he gets calls. Kind of smart, but it's honestly, as an admitted LeBron stan and a LeBroniac, what do they call him? A LeBron sexual, they call him, right? They call him Bron sexuals. Yeah. It's kind of a bad look as far as like a manly guy. You know, he's like just like like rolling all over the place. He like hits the ground. He immediately writhes in pain, grabbing his shoulders and his arms, like squiggling like a squid. He's like looks like he's like dying. Then he gets to the free throw line, drains 2 free throws, and walks back and plays defense. Like like he's fine. It's like one of those things where like you like a kid and you like you hurt yourself and you make it look worse than it is, and then you get up and you're like you're fine. You know what I mean? It's like he like, does that stuff. And so the one with the eye gouge obviously was bad. It looked bad. His eyes were all red and swollen, but he kept saying, I can't see. And he went to the free throw line, drained 2 free throws, then drains this like fadeaway 3-pointer that the buzzer is a dagger before the shot clock. And he said in the post game he saw 3 hoops and aimed for the middle one and just drained it, which I think is kind of funny, right? There's no way he saw that. I think he could see fine. He's just kind of like playing it off to me.
Being LeBron.
Is it possible to see 3?
He said he saw 3 hoops and aimed for the middle one. That's what he
Right?
said.
Like you only have 2 eyes, so you can only
I don't
see
know.
2.
So then the next
Like
game,
max, right?
Game 1 against Phoenix, he gets like shoved by Chris Paul. Okay? I don't know if you guys know this. LeBron James, 6'9", like 250. Chris Paul,
Paul's
like
like
6
5'8".
foot, like 180, right? And he like
I'm testing it out. You can only see 2.
Okay, I believe you. So LeBron goes for a rebound on
LeBron's a
this
liar.
free throw, and he gets like shoved and kind of undercut. He did get undercut a little bit, but he definitely like just like played it way more than it was. And he falls over, writhing in pain, getting checked by the trainers, and it's like that. Then a fight breaks out. Cam Payne gets ejected from the game, and LeBron realizes this. So I listened to a podcast and he pointed this out, and then we watched the video. He played the video and I watched it. LeBron realizes that there's a fight and the attention's off him, and he gets up and stumbles his way over right to where the fight is, and then collapses on the ground right in front of the fight. and everyone's like, look at LeBron. Then it's like that. I was like, dude, he's so smart. He's getting all this attention. Now now the refs think he's actually hurt, and the refs are going to give him the benefit of the doubt on like calls. They ejected the one dude for the fight and everything. It was so funny.
Dude, I wish they would fight like the old Detroit Pistons. Where, like, they
that's
would
like-
fight fans.
So the 2003 Pistons or 2006 Pistons, those are the ones that were like. So it was actually the Pacers, the ones that went in the stands and fought
Oh, was it?
Piston
Yeah.
fans. But the bad boys Pistons back in the 90s, like in the 80s and 90s when they played Michael Jordan and stuff, they were like beating the shit out of people. Like legitimately like playing football on the basketball court. Like knocking out Michael Jordan and everything like that. It was insane.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was like contact sport back in the 80s.
What if they did like a power play in basketball?
Oh, that'd be cool. Take someone out. It's 4 and 5.
Instead of getting like teed up
4 and
getting
5
free throws. Yeah, you do.
That would
4
be
and
crazy.
5s.
Or it's like a red card in soccer.
Honestly-
He's gone for the whole game. It's 4 and 5 the whole game. They'd be fucked.
Watching an NBA game, the players look too big for the little court.
Yeah.
So you think that they need to make it bigger?
Either the court needs to get bigger, or there needs to be less
So
players.
if there's a bigger court or less
3 on
players,
3.
I'll tell you what'll happen. The way NBA is going anyway for ISO ball, where they just give the ball to your best player and have them score, right?
Yeah.
If it was 3 on 3 or
It'd
a
be more
bigger court,
points.
it'd be just all ISO ball. There'd be like less plays run. It'd just be like, hey, you have all this space to actually maneuver around. You don't have to worry about other defenders getting in your way.
Yeah.
Now you can just like, do your thing. Because if they double team, right now they double team a guy.
then someone's
And then
more
someone's
likely
open.
someone's open. 'cause
Yeah.
your
Then
zone's not
they
as
pass
good.
to the open guy and they can break off the double team and still get there, right?
Yeah.
If there's more space or less players, they're not going to be able to get to that out of their double team in time. So you have wide open guys. So that's
Fair
why
enough.
it wouldn't work.
Griff probably
But I
remembers
see what you
this. But
6 people.
like I think it was like
That'd be defense extraordinaire.
I think it was like 2017, 18. Alabama didn't have enough players to play the whole game, so they played
Yeah, it was a couple
5
years
on
ago.
3.
Really?
Yeah, like
was
either
insane.
their players weren't eligible, they were sick, or they were hurt, and so they only had like
And they got a bunch of people foul out.
yeah, and then foul out, so they only had 3 people to finish the game
awesome.
with.
Yeah, they finished 5 on 3 the rest of the game. Colin Sexton was like their best player. He was like a number 5 overall pick a couple years ago.
Yeah, that's
but yeah,
awesome.
it was insane. But yeah, LeBron's still insane. So which brings me to the don't even think about it, just bet it pick of the week.
Let's go.
So 1-1 now. Won my last one. Easy money on Jason Tatum over 32.5 on the
That was a
playing
good take
game.
right
That was
there.
easy money.
That was good.
Second best scores
Let's
out.
get another one for the
Impressive.
boys.
Like another one here. So this is easy money as well, right? So they're actually a favorite I'm taking. But they lost the first game of the series, and it's LeBron. The Lakers lost game 1 to the Suns. Historically, look at LeBron and the Lakers last year, all in the bubble tournament. They lost at the first game of the series, like every single series. Then came back and won like 3 or 4 of the next 5. You know what I mean? So I think this is the lock of the century. They lose to the Suns game 1. They lose a close game, right? Now you come out this one, they're favored by 1.5. I think you take the Lakers minus 1.5, lock of the century. You don't even have to think about it. The Lakers do this every time. They lose game 1, they win the rest of the games.
Okay.
So don't even think about it. Just bet it. The Lakers beating the Suns minus 1.5. Don't even think about it. Just bet it.
There you go.
I think the Suns are the 1 seed too.
Suns
They're
are
the
2 seed.
2 seed. They're 2 seed.
They're
You're
my
right.
team.
They're your team. You're Devin
my
Booker
team.
guy.
Yeah.
It sucks because Chris Paul got hurt in that game too. So Chris Paul might not
I don't
play.
know nothing. I just picked him.
Chris Paul might not play.
I
The
liked
second
him
best
back
player.
in the day because Steve Nash used
Yeah.
to ball up and throw some layups.
Yeah.
So fun fact: Steve Nash is the head coach of the Nets.
Yeah.
That was before I knew he was Canadian.
Yeah.
God dang it.
But some other things. Again, the Suns beat the Lakers in game 1, so good game for the Suns.
we have
But
Canadian listeners.
Chris
Better
Paul-
apologize.
Do we?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Say you're sorry.
sorry, eh? Go get some Tim Hortons and get over it. But Suns beat Lakers, so
It's
good for the
ham.
Suns. It's ham.
It's ham.
I have on here fuck the Nets because the Nets beat the Celtics. And
That's my team.
no,
I
you're
thought the Suns were the team.
The Nets are on the other side of the bracket.
Fuck the
Yeah,
Nets.
but which one are like your team?
Oh, I don't have a real team.
No.
These are just the 2 that I picked to win the tournament.
Yeah, no.
Wait, both of them can't win.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm asking you.
No,
like,
no, you
between-
didn't have to pick a winner. We just picked the
I
championship.
picked the winner,
Did you?
the Denver Nuggets.
I'd pick the Nets
My
over
team.
the Suns for sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
So anyway,
Denver
fuck-
Nuggets are
fuck
going to
the
win
Nets.
anyway.
Fuck the Nets. I really hope the Celtics somehow can win this series, and they're not going to. They're going to
mean,
lose
they're
like
the super-
maybe 4-1. It might be a gentleman's sweep. That's the best case scenario is a gentleman's
They're the
sweep.
Superman, or not Superman, super team in
Yeah, I
the
know.
East.
You ever heard of a gentleman's sweep? They call it gentleman's sweep.
Yeah, the Caps just got gentleman sweep.
They get gentleman's swept
By the
bad.
Boston
so
Bruins.
it's like
It's a 3-1,
we'll
right?
let 4-1. We'll let them win one game just so they can we won a game in the playoffs, but it's light work. You know what I mean?
It was
Gentleman's
not
sweep.
the Caps year.
Not the Caps year.
Nope.
Also, Ovi might be gone. He might be going to Russia.
Why? Is his work visa up?
No, he's like a free agent, and he said that the only places he'll ever play is Russia or the Capitals. And so if the Caps don't re-sign him because he's old, then he's going to play in Russia. And a bunch of people think he's just going to go to Russia and play. Anyway,
It's crazy.
Donovan Mitchell is pissed. He got benched. His coaches benched him because he said he's still hurt, and he's like, I'm good to play. It's game 1 of the playoffs, and the Jazz lost because of it, and they were the number 1 seed.
It's a smart coach.
Yeah, he got hurt, and he's the best player in their team, and I think they should have played him. I think they would have won if they played him.
Hindsight.
Hindsight's 2020. You're right. Clippers and Sixers both win, but the most important part, I want you to pull this clip up, Jake. So type in Trae Young, game winner. Trae Young hits a game winner at Madison Square Garden
In
at
Spike
the buzzer
Lee's face.
in Spike Lee's face. And what I want to say is just before that, like a minute or so before it, the whole crowd is chanting, fuck Trae Young, fuck Trae Young, fuck Trae Young. And he goes and hits a silencer. Game winner with like 0.8 seconds left on the clock. And then he starts shouting some of the best words I've ever seen. Looks at the crowd. You can hear a pin drop. It went from super loud to nothing. And all of a sudden you see him saying, oh, it got real fucking quiet in here.
I'm at your thing.
Now defensively on the point. Let's see how they play this.
Here is Young. Finds his spot.
Little
Young
teardrop.
on the floater, puts it
Now watch the close-up.
Trae
See how quiet it is?
with a miraculous shot.
He says quiet as fucking here. Spike Lee all pissed off. The Knicks have not been in the playoffs in like forever, but he hits that silencer. They were literally chanting "F you, Trae Young" for like so long, right?
Is that the 8K camera?
Yeah, it's insane, isn't
That's
it?
dope.
Yeah,
It's so cool.
It's so cool.
Yeah, I love it when they score a touchdown in the NFL.
Yeah,
and they,
NFL brought it in. I was like,
But-
what is this I'm looking at, dude?
Anyway, I love that he just like silenced the crowd, and it just got so quiet. They were like shouting and screaming, makes the shot, and just dead silent. And he's just, it got real effing quiet in here. Anyway, so funny meme for Trae Young. I got to show you guys.
He looks like a guy you wouldn't get along with, though.
Have you seen the Trae Young lollipop meme?
Doesn't he?
Have you seen the Trae? Wait, go
Maybe
back
it's
quick.
just this,
Go back.
because he's being so sassy right now.
Go back and pause on that picture of him.
I kind of agree.
So go towards the end.
Hang on. We're going to watch this dude's ad again.
All you had to do was drag back.
Amazon! No, it moved to the next video.
Oh, I see what you mean.
It auto
So go to the end when he was just like sitting there, like a close up of him.
Go to the left.
He said the
There you go. Pause. Whoop. Anyway, yeah, right there. So you see that?
He's just being super sassy. That's why I think that. What is that? The lollipop with his sucker
under there.
Yes, they say Trae Young looks like. Someone said
He's
this
also
man
like super sweaty.
Someone said this man literally cooked the net or cooked the Knicks, and they posted a picture of the lollipop with fucking hair all over it.
doing him dirty.
All right, Jay, get us out of here.
Anything else? We don't want to hit on Phil Mickelson.
Yeah, Mickelson,
50 years
50
old.
years old, oldest win a major, right?
Yeah.
Winning a major. Very impressive. He dropped, 50, 60 pounds before? And now he's an athlete. Gridiron Garage followers think so. We think so.
Brooks Koepka got second.
He also hit the longest drive of the day on 14. I don't know if it was right. 14. Brooks
I
was
thought
2.
it was Brooks. Well, Brooks hit
Brooks was
first.
361.
Yeah, and then
Phil
Phil
hit
was 366. Yeah, what
Did
a
you
big
see-
dick fig
Yeah, I know.
Phil move.
Did you see?
Cavs.
Did you see Bryson DeChambeau not finding his ball and getting pissed off?
Uh-uh.
He hit a fucking bomb of a drive on one of the holes, probably like 360 plus or whatever. Just bombed it, and he's sitting there looking for his ball where he thought it landed, and he just can't find it. And he's pissed off. He goes, "I hit a good drive though." He's just looking for his ball, like the camera's just caught, going, "I hit a good drive."
I've been there before.
Fairway monster.
Yep.
It's sitting along with all my top flights that I hit straight in the middle of the fairway and couldn't find.
That's funny.
But yeah, other than that, I think that's
Congrats
all we
to
had.
Phil, the old lefty, getting it done.
Wish it was Brooks, but his height.
But I thank you for listening to the sports episode, Gridiron Garage. Thank you for following and doing all that you do. And we thank you for listening. We out.
Thank you.